Hi, my loves. I hope that you're well. I am going to be back on the channel doing weekly readings that are requested in the community poll. So be sure that you subscribe if you're new to the channel, because you get a chance every week to vote for the reading or the teaching video that I post, and your energy goes into the readings more when you vote. I will be back doing those every week, some point in January when I feel cool to come back. I'm quite busy with personal readings at the moment, and I want to make sure that I'm prioritizing my energy. Quick heads up before I start this reading. My prices will be going up in January. I may be getting rid of some of my reading options as well that I don't really enjoy doing that much, or that I don't feel are actually very helpful for my clients. The kind of more addictive, less in-depth reading options, like my one card pulls. Now, I had those because I wanted some kind of affordable option for people, but honestly I feel I have a gift and that I need to use it properly, and I don't feel like those readings can be that helpful for people. I think they are helpful a little bit, but they're not like an in-depth reading. And as I prioritize my time and energy, I will be doing less readings and they're going to be more expensive. I still think they're really good value because, look guys, they're really accurate. At the moment they're too cheap. I did that because I knew everyone would be having a financial hardship, but at the same time, wouldn't you rather pay for a reading that's actually accurate and helpful than waste your money on cheap readings that aren't very good? I mean, up to you, each to their own, but I need to enjoy doing readings, even though I'm really good at them and it's like a gift. It's like they have to be enjoyable for me too, otherwise I will at just some point just end up stopping doing it, or doing it in a different way, like doing mediumship or working with the police, doing something that feels fulfilling. So I need to make it feel fulfilling for me so that it's still in alignment with me, because I need to be true to myself. And I feel like one card pulls are not that helpful. I may keep like a few options of that, but there are going to be some changes in my store, including the prices will be going up because they've been too low really for a long time, just because I wanted people to be able to access them. But I feel like it's better for people to get less readings, less regularly, and get a good reading, especially because my readings are often accurate for years, so I think there's no need to make it so that people can get them all the time, if that makes sense. They still will be affordable, but they will be going up a bit. So just a heads up, that will be happening in January. So this is the last moment to get the readings as they have been for a while, in the format and the price. I am busy at the moment. And then at some point in January, I will also start doing readings on the channel again. But this is a very different type of reading that I was just called to do, which usually means it's an important reading. I've titled it so that it's for the right reaching the right people. But this is going to be a reading for divine masculine. So this is not a reading if you see yourself as a divine feminine, wanting to know about, your divine masculine. This is a reading for the divine masculines, with my intention that some of these divine masculines will be spiritually evolving and may come across this video. Now, you don't have to be a man to be a divine masculine. We all have masculine and feminine energies within us. But this is for those who think that they're in a twin flame connection or a deep soul connection. It can also be for divine feminines to connect into their more divine masculine energy as well. We all have it within us. But this is specifically for people maybe in the journey who start to get into union with their counterpart. And maybe, for example, if you're a divine feminine, you would watch this and it would be helpful to you to understand where your divine masculine is at the moment, where they're coming from. I can speak from experience about being in a twin flame connection. When your counterpart comes back, a lot of things do get triggered even for the divine feminine, and a reading like this may be useful to people in that position, where it shows you, it helps you to understand where they're coming from a bit. So although this is for divine masculines, and I don't think there are enough videos on YouTube about that, it can also be helpful for the divine feminines to watch it. Let's put the intention that divine masculines would watch this kind of reading, though, because as they come into union with their feminine counterparts, they spiritually awaken. And at some point, they may end up watching these sorts of things also, right? So this reading will be for whoever comes across it. There may be something in it for you, especially if you're not already subscribed. And even if you don't think you're in a twin flame dynamic, but you're on a spiritual journey, and coming into union with the different aspects of yourself, there could especially be something in this for you. I'm going to use tarot because for me it's the most immediate. I was thinking of doing water scrying, but then I thought I want to completely remove myself from it, and tarot is better for that. So I'm going to connect in now. Okay, asking Archangel Michael to put me in a bubble of love, light, and protection, connecting me into my higher self, my team of light, my angels, ancestors, and guides. All chances, changes, possibilities, probabilities, everything coming through for me today. This is intentionally a reading for divine masculine, so connecting into the divine masculine collective throughout the duration of this reading. Connecting into their higher selves, their teams of light, asking for angelic guidance and protection for us at this time. All chances, changes, possibilities, probabilities, closing down the energies, restoring the auric fields, and wrapping us in universal love, light, and protection at the end of the reading. Of course, I was getting partners, love, gifts, fortune, and divine union coming through. I also got journey and messages and gifts. So yeah, a lot going on. I want to see what is the advice at this time for the divine masculines. What is the advice at this time for the divine masculines? This is about standing in your power. Concentrating also on your career and your finances, finding that stability within yourself. There may be a lot of anxiety at this time, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of demons, a lot of internal demons. I mean, weird that I would say demons. Maybe some of you need to cleanse your space. It feels like you're battling internal demons at night, maybe around issues to do with your career, your stability. For some of you, you may be feeling like you are becoming single at this moment, and this is a good thing if you're in a single independent energy. But there may be some fear around this, especially if you're someone who's been used to having the security of being in a commitment, even if that was not something that was serving your highest good. But for some of these divine masculines, there may be a fear of actually, you know, they're used to and comfortable being on their own. So although they may feel they don't want to be alone, there is an anxiety around the idea of joining with another. A lot of them could be, I should say a lot of you, could be using work as a means of escaping this. So it's kind of a message not to escape how you're feeling through your work, because I feel like that's just stuffing your emotions down and it's not allowing them to be released. Message for the divine masculines. There is something here about how much time and energy you've invested into something. Maybe this is around your career. It feels like something is growing, but there's some kind of conflict about how things are moving forwards for you. What is the advice? So I would say patience is important, but at the same time, it's like allowing yourself to move forwards. There's so much anxiety. We've got the 9 of Swords twice. So divine masculines are feeling extremely anxious at this time. So your advice would be, how can you make it so that you are getting a healthy level of sleeping in your life? How can you create a good routine of sleeping and eating and things like this? There's a need to get out of these fearful thoughts. Your thoughts could be very fearful at this time, keeping you awake at night. For some of you, journaling could be really important. Reading, maybe instead of watching TV at night, you know, you're reading, you're journaling, you're doing something like that. Aromatherapy, candles, working with the elements. For some of you, the moon cycles are really affecting you at this time. There may be a lot of insecurity and worry around your kind of your stability and your finances as well, and your career. What is the advice for the divine masculine that come across this? It feels to me that There is success coming in for you, but it feels like there's delayed forward movement. You could also be getting very inaccurate information via social media. For some of you, taking a break from looking at social media would be really advisable. For some of you, thinking about where you're getting your advice from. So not listening maybe to the opinions of others, because these two cards can be like other people's opinions getting in the way of you advancing and expanding in your life. There's a need for you to kind of protect your energy at this time so that you don't become exhausted, but also learning who you can lower your defenses for. It feels like you keep your boundaries high because you have so much anxiety inside. You may feel almost like you're protecting others from your anxiety by not letting them in, but I feel there's a need to let those who actually can help you in. It feels like you're going to overcome all of this, but it also feels like for a lot of you, you're putting on a show or a display of being okay, maybe especially on social media. And there needs to be more of a focus on your internal self. I can't believe how many times the Nine of Swords has come out. The Nine of Swords has come out from every deck I've touched. It's extreme anxiety. Let's get a message for how they can help this anxiety. Let's ask the angels, in fact. So the Nine of Swords, the Divine Masculine is feeling really anxious. They may not be sleeping well. If you're a Divine Feminine and you're watching this and you're wondering how they are, they're not sleeping well. And they're very fearful. What is the angelic message for the Divine Masculines who may be watching this video? Can we just get one card? What is the angelic guidance for the Divine Masculines who may be watching this video? One more. Detachment. Okay, so I got 3 cards for you, okay? Laughter. Laughter is a wonderful healer. It shakes out fear and leaves you feeling happier, clearer, and more relaxed. Remember that angels fly because they take themselves lightly. So make light of difficulties and see the funny side of situations. Laugh at yourself and with others. When you relax and laugh, your angels drop in new suggestions and ideas which can transform difficulty into delight. Laughter is the sunshine which dissolves darkness, so be merry, joyous, and fun-filled. And an affirmation is, I see humor in everything. If you're having a difficult time sleeping, if you're feeling extremely anxious, maybe just cocoon yourself in comedy. I mean, comedy really does raise the vibration. So watching your favorite comedians, watching funny movies, watching things that are lighthearted, especially with that Page of Swords in reverse, it's like a need to be very careful of what you're watching, what you're reading, anything in your life where you're taking on the energy without even realizing what you're looking at on social media, things like that. Surround yourself in a high vibration bubble of things that you find funny and lighthearted. And then we have opportunity. We are all presented with opportunities and we are expected to flow with the currents that come our way. Drawing this angel card suggests that something is now being made available to you and it's up to you to use it with your greatest advantage. Be alert, be aware, and be prepared. You can, of course, make your own opportunities. If you knock on enough doors, one will inevitably be opened to you. You're reminded to persevere, for it may be a door which was previously locked has now opened a crack. Quieten your mind and ask the angels to help you. And the affirmation is, I am ready for all opportunities. It could be that for some of you, you're feeling so anxious because there is something that's available to you. And sometimes that brings up a lot of fear in us. We think we want something so badly. And then when it's possible to have it, it's just you're paralyzed by fear. As a Divine Feminine, I know that when my Divine Masculine is in my life, suddenly I think that I've wanted them this whole time. But then all of this fear will come up in me around it. So you can think you want something really badly, but then when you get it, you can be you know, you can have all of these unprocessed emotions around it, or a lot of fears. For some of the divine masculines, this could be that they have some new opportunities in their career or their finances or something like that, or they're suddenly in a place of recognition and it becomes a burden. And it becomes something that is fearful. So it's like you're afraid of your own power. And this is a kind of manifestation advice here. According to spiritual law, you can have anything your heart desires. However, if your happiness, sense of security, or feeling of power depends on something or someone in your life, you are attached, and it is a chain which binds you to a lower frequency and keeps you stuck. So you're being asked to detach yourself from anything that is lower vibration, anything that you're watching, anyone that is in your life, or any neediness you have which is stopping you from actually being able to have the thing you want. Because when you manifest, you have to become the person that has it already, and the person who has it already doesn't need anything because they already have it, if that makes sense. Your guidance is to ask the angels to help you cut cords that tie you to people, things, and emotions. So for some of you, there is a need to cord cut with the past. There's a need to release the past. There's a need to release the heaviness and be more in the energy of lightness and happiness, and embrace the new opportunities that come in. When all attachments are released, you can no longer be manipulated emotionally. This enables you to reclaim your power and be genuine, especially for some of you who do have attachment with like a third party person, or a toxic situation, or a third party job, or anything in your life where it feels like you're bound to it in a way that feels unhealthy, and it's attachment rather than love. You're being asked to kind of get rid of that, so that you can really truly see whether or not it is something you want and desire, or whether it's something that you're tied to. Free your spirit and that of others. Let go now. And the affirmation is, I release everyone and everything. My spirit is free. Let's have a look for the divine masculine, what their advice is around their divine feminine. If that is something they're, you know, if you're watching this and you're a divine masculine, then I feel that is something that you are ready to hear. What is the advice around the divine feminine? The strength card did flip over, which is divine feminine energy. It's Leo energy, but it's about overcoming fear. What is the advice? Yeah. I feel there has been a third party element in this connection. There has been heartbreak. There's been conflict. There may have been too many people involved, and that has been getting in the way of your connection with your divine feminine. So that's been causing a lot of pain and heartbreak. There's an entanglement, there's an enmeshment, there's too many people involved, and that's been getting in the way. And that could just be listening to other people's opinions on the divine feminine energy. There's a lot of past sadness here. I feel like the divine feminine is in this energy of feeling sad, feeling maybe abandoned, thinking back on past disappointments and hurt in this connection. And you as the divine masculine may know that you've caused this. But also for those of you that are feeling grief and sadness in your life, the Five of Cups always has these two cups in the background, which represent the Two of Cups, a soul connection, unconditional love, a spiritual connection basically, and love. And so it's saying all is not lost. There is something that remains for you. There is the possibility to have love with the divine feminine. It feels like for a lot of you there has been some communication with the divine feminine, or you're thinking of communicating with the divine feminine. This may come across as a more sexual energy. I feel the divine feminine will probably understand that this is not just a sexual energy, but I feel you're feeling a lot of passion towards the divine feminine. But there is also this underlying sadness, and there is this third party energy that needs to be fully released. And I do feel you're going through some kind of tower moment, and there has been some kind of enlightenment through this. There has been some kind of cosmic realignment, cosmic awakening that's happened around this. I think you see the divine feminine as the last bit of hope, but I think you also feel a very strong sexual attraction there. And you may not know how to express those feelings in a way that isn't through sexuality. I mean, what is their advice if that applies? I'm trying to find the right place for the candles. There we go. What is the divine masculine advice around this divine feminine? I do feel like there is this toxicity, there is this sexuality. This could be that there is still a cord that needs to be cut with another connection. I feel there's a lot of abandonment wounding that has come up around this. For a lot of you, you may be very afraid to love because you're very afraid of abandonment. But at the same time, there is the chance of some kind of solid new beginning, and the divine feminine has been very patient. And you do want to expand and grow. But the thing is, this card came out already in the reverse. So there are delays to this. It feels like there's a massive transformation that's happened or is going to happen. And it feels like this is what brings you back into your power. So there's the Four of Wands on the back of the deck. So yeah, that's just confirmation. We are dealing with counterparts. This is a twin flame connection. You need to come into union with yourself first of all. And you need to probably walk away from something that you've tried for a long time to make work, or that you haven't wanted to give up fighting for. There is a need to do that. There is a need to give up, to detach, to go into your emotions, to allow yourself to be emotionally vulnerable. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of fantasy. You may feel like the divine feminine is some kind of fantasy, and how can it be real? And there may be some blocks around this, and you may be blocked off because of this. But I think as soon as you sink into your heart space, your defenses are going to crumble. And that may be what you're afraid of. But at the same time, that's what brings you your new beginning. So it's scary, but it's possible to get into this energy of a new beginning if you allow yourself to be vulnerable. Advice for the divine masculine around their divine feminine. This does not surprise me because I got this a lot about my connection as advice. Archangel Zadkiel will help you to find tolerance and forgiveness. He works on the violet ray of purification and transmutation, helping you to release lower vibrations and ascend to a higher way of being. Angel wisdom suggests you visualize yourself in a violet flame and invoke Archangel Zadkiel to help you. Place your troubles and difficult relationships within the flame so that all negativity is transmuted. You are blessed to have drawn this card today, for it indicates you're ready to walk the path of light. And I do feel for the divine masculines that watch this video, you are ready. You would not be watching this and have got this far through it if you weren't ready to change, to transmute. So it's about being brave, really, and like, you are spiritually evolving, you know. The affirmation is, I am cleansed within the violet flame. And then we have joy. Joy springs from a sense of connection to the divine, and it's a quality which illuminates you. Your angel guidance is to cultivate this quality by seeking the divine in every situation. Look beyond the surface and seek the light in the heart of each person. Then you will become aware of the wonder of creation and joy, and the wonder of creation and joy will ignite your life. Delight in everything, for joy is a key to enlightenment. Enjoy life. And the affirmation is, I find joy in everything. Let's get some further just advice and guidance for divine masculines. Okay, there is a need to go within and to stop listening to the opinions of others that are in conflict with your own spiritual understanding and promptings from your unconscious. You may need time alone in general as you work through some things. It feels like you're learning a lot. It could be that you're even like looking into, this has like Egyptian hieroglyphics on it, so it makes me think of like Akashic records. It could be that you're really trying to understand yourself, how you can build something solid and stable. But at the same time, it is about finding the inner guidance, connecting into this kind of divine feminine energy that we all have as well, and listening to that kind of the call of your soul. There will be a new beginning for you. It is going to be more fair. It feels like a karmic cycle has come to an end. And it feels like there's going to be something about a give and take. The universe may be trying to give you a lot of signs as well at this time. Advice for divine masculines. Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty and devotion, mystic, teacher, priestess. So I think the divine masculines need to connect into their feminine intuition. They may be interested in the Rosicrucians. They may be interested in connecting into, getting a reading from a reader, things like that. I also feel for a lot of them that they feel their divine feminine as this kind of beautiful energy in their life that is wise, that is guiding them. You need to know that you're not alone. We had this message of you feeling alone, but feeling afraid to not be alone because you're so used to feeling alone that to not be alone is scary. And that comes from your fear of abandonment. But the message is you're not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. And if you're in one of these connections, you're not alone anyway, because whether you feel them, your counterpart will be feeling you, especially if you're the divine masculine. They will be feeling you. Share your voice, come out of the cave, persecution, expression. It feels like at some point you will connect more into your communication. You will be expressing yourself. Some of you may work in a way where self-expression is important, but at the same time you're not that good at expressing yourself, in your real life. It feels like you need to connect into your inner wisdom and then speak your truth. When you speak your truth, you can't destroy anything real. It will only set you free. And then this doesn't surprise me, this always comes up in twin flame readings: double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. So maybe there is something you're meant to be doing with your counterpart. It could be around communication, but it feels like you could start thinking about what you're meant to be working on with your person. It does feel to me like you're going through an awakening. You may be getting a lot of significant dreams. There's an energetic upgrade happening here, and you are integrating a lot of lessons. So if you've come across this video and you see yourself as a divine masculine and you feel like you have a spiritual connection to a divine feminine and they are more awakened than you, but you're starting to understand it, you're starting to see it, you're starting to wonder what it's all about. I mean, well done for getting to this place and watching something like this. It feels like you are undergoing an awakening and you're stepping out of your comfort zone. You may have had some kind of tower moment happen because of this. I still think you're very focused on your stability and in the pentacles, which is the real world issues and your career and your finances and stuff like that. And you may need to actually let go of those ego trappings too. Anything that is like to do with the ego, your job, your career, your finances, your friendship groups, who you see yourself as, your family, things like this. These are all ego projections, and we have to kind of lose all of these things to understand who we truly are. When we don't identify with our career, our finances, our friends, our pets, our job, everything, it's like, well, who would I be at the end of this? And this may be what you're going through, where you're pulling away these layers to understand who you are within it all. But your final thing, your final stability in your life may be around your career and things like that. And as the masculine, you may feel very like you want to hold on to those tangible things, but spirit is almost saying to release your grip on your possessions as well. Meditate and contemplate. I feel you're going to get a lot of insights coming in when you kind of connect into the astral realms. Also Pisces season, so February, March may be very very important times for you in terms of getting these spiritual downloads. I do feel like at the moment you are in a very emotional space and you are releasing a lot. And it's all about now give and take. Getting into a more balanced give and take with your counterpart, with the aspects of yourself, not letting your past hold you back, releasing the past sadness and embracing the love that is still available to you. 5 of Cups. Advice for the divine masculine. Oh, of course, no place like home. What is home to you? Home and a feeling of connection with someone should feel comfortable. You know this person because they are like a lighthouse that calls you home. You need to find this sense of home within yourself, but there may be a sense of home within somebody else, your counterpart. You know, this is a mutual thing. This is confirmation that we're talking about a soul connection, a twin flame connection. We had the Four of Wands already. That's another card for a divine counterpart, twin flame connection. But it's about you finding that sense of unity and home within yourself and another. And then it's about being in the present, being in the here and now, not worrying too much about the future or the past. There's so much anxiety, I think, about both the past and the future. So just try to stay in the present. And then it's about chop wood, carry water. When things are bad, carry on. When things get better, carry on. Try to be as unaffected by the ups and downs of life as is humanly possible. Of course, we're all human, but you know, if you can kind of come to a place of stillness and just, if you're feeling overwhelmed, just do the daily tasks that you need to do to get the day done, and just being okay and being on top of yourself and on top of your daily routine. You know, that is a way of coping, but don't do it in this kind of escapist way of like holding on too much to the 3D. There is a need for you to eventually, you know, come into true union with yourself and show the world the real you. Drop your mask, allow your heart to be your compass, really connecting into that side of yourself. You're going to feel a sigh of relief when you do that, and you're going to release so much resistance. It's like you've tried for so long to present a version of yourself to the world that is out of alignment with you, that you've exhausted yourself. And I think a tower moment has happened where you then, all of this gets just shaken off you, like leaves in a tree just shaken off by the wind. And it's like, okay, and now who am I? You know, it's like you're shedding a part of yourself. I feel like some of you are being advised that you do need to kind of make a move in some way forwards in your life at this time. And you need to know that you're good enough. I almost said when a time to give rather than take card came out, I almost said you are good enough, because I was thinking of this card, which is the other full moon in Virgo. You need to know that you're good enough for love. You're good enough for success. You're good enough to release your fears, all of this. Let's get messages for the divine masculine around their twin flame and the connection. Miracles and blessings. Everything has its gift. Can you see the beauty in this connection now? Maybe at first you didn't really see it as much. That's usually the way with divine masculines. But at some point you do start to see the wonder, see the beauty in it. Can you see it as something beautiful rather than something you're afraid of? And again, here are those leaves on the tree being blown off. I knew I got that weird image for a reason. It feels to me like maybe you saw it as this thing that was just blowing in the wind, that was not stable, not secure, and you love this sense of security. But is there something beautiful in the madness of it, in the way that it's so unexpected and strange? And you know, can you catch onto these beautiful things? And do you need to be able to preserve them, or can you just see them as these beautiful moments and enjoy them for that? Very channeled message. I hope it makes sense. The only thing that is real is love. Shift your focus back to love. That's what I was saying about all of these things to do with your ego that keep you feeling a certain way, your job, your career, your friendship groups. I mean, friendship groups are about love when you have good friends, but when it's a kind of friendship group that is just good on paper, or where you don't really feel like your soul is being fulfilled, and you know, things like that, it's like none of that is really real. The only thing that's real when you let go of everything in your life is this idea of love, this internal love, this love from the universe. And so Spirit is saying, focus on love. Money and possessions and all of the rest of it, it's not real. And of course, honesty is essential. Speak with love and truth. At some point, you need to drop your mask. You need to trust. You need to trust that your counterpart is, you know, also going to be open to you. But you can do anything you choose. You are limitless. And Spirit is saying, look, if you've made it this far into this reading, you're ready. You're ready to change. You're ready to be loved. You're ready to be in union with yourself and others. You're ready to do the job that is your soul calling. You're ready to complete your mission. You're ready to be in union. Gemini, I think. It's this overthinking that keeps you stuck. It's this overthinking that keeps you feeling anxious. So it's about sinking into your body. Exactly. And feeling. So instead of Gemini, I think, we suggest Cancer, I feel. And this is the conflict you're in. Thinking and feeling, thinking and feeling. Your heart doesn't lie. Your heart is the compass. So go with what you feel, not what you think. You may think it doesn't make sense. It would never work. It's not logical. I'm going to be judged. But what does your soul feel? Because if these are not in union, you will be in conflict, and you'll create disease, and you'll create uncomfort, and you'll create mess for yourself. Bring these into union so that your thoughts and your actions and your feelings and your actions can be aligned. So it's not necessarily just going with your feelings and not thinking, but it's about don't always just think and not feel. And I feel you're really into the thinking energy with that 9 of Swords so many times. And actually that's keeping you trapped. Your intuition is not the same as anxiety. Anxiety is like a looping thing that feels heavy and scary and keeps you trapped. Intuition is just like, it just comes in like a light bulb, and it's sudden and it's unexpected and it feels gentle and it feels good. So that's how you'll know which one it is. And then it's all about taking action. Aries season may be also very important. Yeah, 8th house, beginnings and endings. At the moment, you're going through a rebirth. You're going through an awakening. There may have been endings, literal endings, emotional endings, whatever. There may have been death and rebirth in a literal sense, but definitely in a metaphorical sense. It's like you're shedding your skin and you're becoming something new. You may be thinking about endings and beginnings, and you may be thinking about, all of these things and what it's all about. But this is a moment where there's a lot of different energies going on, which is creating tension, but in order to create a kind of breakthrough moment for you. Are there any other? Oh, yes. Final message. Final message, please, Spirit, for the Divine Masculines. The village. This is about the village. What is the village? The village is like there's no place like home. It's the place that you've come from, that whenever you go back, you feel this familiarity to it. But it also can feel a bit like restrictive, like you want to break out of this kind of small town mentality. But it's really about where you've come from, where you want to be, your sense of where you belong, but not feeling trapped by that sense of belonging. So for some of you, you may feel this sense of home and belonging to this other person, your divine feminine. It may feel like home, but you may feel like that you don't want to feel stifled by that. You don't want to feel restricted by that. You don't want to feel overwhelmed by that, hemmed in by that. So it's about how can I have the feeling of closeness and familiarity without feeling trapped, and how much of that is actually an abandonment wound of mine. Let's see if we can get another just very final card of advice. The Ocean. This is about going within and connecting to your intuition, connecting to the unconscious, connecting to your feelings. And it can be scary because it's dark and it could be a bottomless pit, and maybe you're afraid to go there. Go there in a way that is safe, in a shamanic way, with someone as a guide, maybe with a spiritual healer or teacher or with a therapist. But either way, you need to go there. You need to go there. And then with the Father card coming out as well, I got a few more cards. Okay, what can I say? This is Divine Masculine energy though. And again, it's this yin yang. It's this needing to get things in balance. For some of you, there may be issues around your father that have come up for you recently, about what it means to embody the masculine energy, things like that. But it's also about creating this stability for yourself, but allowing yourself to be vulnerable, masculine and feminine energies. And then with the shapeshifter, it really is this question of who am I at my core? And I think that's what you're wondering. And I think that's a really good place to start. And I think when you start to really wonder who you are, you get to a place where you're like, I am. Who is the I? If I'm saying I am, there must be two of me. Like, what is this other sense of myself within myself? If I'm able to talk to myself and say I am and hear it, then who is the I? I would recommend the Samadhi documentary, but I feel like there's a lot of layers of self that need to be released. And you need to think about who you are without your wearing of your mask. I think you're incredibly good at wearing a mask and getting by, and that's fine. But I think you've come to a point where you want to do more than get by. You've come to a point where you want to actually embody your higher self and do what is meant for you. And you can't do that when you're in that energy of wearing the mask. Okay, the Father's come out again. That for me is confirmation that I've kind of got the messages, and it's time to end the reading because the same card comes out. But I do feel like I just want to get, oh, and that candle just went out. Well, maybe that is the end of the reading. Let me just get one more angel card though, because these are so beautiful. Can we have final message for the divine feminines? I mean masculine. No. Let's get a message for the divine feminines who may have watched this. And if you're a divine masculine watching this, then this is a card for you, for your divine feminine. And we'll see what comes out. But you may need to balance your feminine energies within yourself anyway. Or this may just be, about your divine feminine. Let's get that card. That flew out. Creativity. The angels suggest you explore your creative potential now. Creativity is an energy for adventure and change. It may herald a new idea, inspiration for a book, an artistic vision, or a new project. Now, this is quite crazy because I am a divine feminine and I'm writing a book about my divine masculine, our connection, but it's about wider stuff. It won't be obviously about that, but it's about all of the crazy synchronicities and past life stuff. I'm a creative person, I feel like maybe a lot of the divine feminines are in this more creative energy, but also divine masculine. It may be about you stepping into your creativity. Either way, take this card as it applies to you, but it's about creativity. It's about birthing a creative project. It says, let your imagination flow. If you do not know how to channel the force, you may feel restless and dispirited. Ask your angels to help you direct your creative energy towards something worthwhile. This may just be a message from me because I'm doing a divine masculine energy and I asked for the divine feminine card and it's just telling me like creativity, which I know, but it's nice confirmation, right? The angel wisdom reminds you are a co-creator with the divine. So also remember, guys, manifestation. I wouldn't suggest manifestation for a specific person, especially a twin flame, because I know from my twin flame thing, I predicted stuff would happen like 6 months ago that has happened. I predicted stuff would happen about 2 years ago that only just happened. So it feels like in the twin flame dynamic, certain things are very much set in stone, and it's about you guys evolving in your individual journeys to be at the place you need to be to come into union, and it will take as long as it needs to take because certain things need to happen. So I don't know whether it's something you should necessarily mess with too much, but you can certainly be sending love out into the universe for your counterpart and working on your self-love for yourself, and that will help to shift the energies in the right way. But this card is just reminding you that you are a co-creator. You have the ability to play with the energies of the cards that you're dealt. I'm very channeled in this message, but also I feel like it's coming out like it wanted to be said, like someone is paying attention to this reading and like spirit is pleased I'm doing it. So I feel it's an important reading. I haven't felt like doing readings on the channel since I stopped over Christmas. Not that I don't enjoy doing the like, what do you guys want to know readings, but when I just get the sudden urge to do a reading, it's actually kind of spiritually led rather than you guys wanting readings. And therefore it's going to be quite powerful. So I hope and intend that a lot of divine masculines will watch this reading because it means that they're waking up. Let's intend that this is the reading that goes viral, but it will be whoever needs to see it that needs to see it. But it would be great if we can help the divine masculine energy in the same way that the divine feminine has so many readings and things aimed at them in this online community. Divine masculine kind of gets forgotten because we say that they're the less spiritually evolved one. And then what are we manifesting by saying that? Do you know what I mean? Let's intend that actually they're becoming awakened. And that doesn't need to be in the same way as divine feminine, but why not start giving advice for them? They may really truly need it. So Your angel wisdom reminds you you're co-creator with the divine. Use your power with wisdom and joy. And I feel, I hope and intend that that is what I've done in this reading as the divine feminine, reading for divine masculines in a collective sense. And the affirmation is, I enjoy my creative powers and I use them for the highest good. All right, my loves, I hope it's helpful. Please like the video for the energy exchange and so that it can reach as many people as possible, and comment for a chance to win a free video reading from me once I reach 3,000 subscribers. As I said, my Etsy store is open. It will be going up in price from January and changing a little bit as I'm kind of called to make it, you know, for the highest good. But I will be doing my readings on the channel, and I'll probably do some free live card pulls once I reach 3,000 subscribers. I am going to close the energies down now, disconnecting from the divine masculine energy, asking Archangel Michael to put me in a bubble of love, light and protection. Wishing you guys all the very best. Please get some sleep, eat properly, sleep properly, watch what you're consuming, don't listen to what other people think, follow your heart and your intuition. And you know, I know as a divine feminine how much love there is available to the divine masculine, so you're never alone, but also don't be afraid of not being alone. All right, I send love and light out into the world. Take care and much love.